Good evening, everyone. Today, we will be starting a series called Financial Foundations, Understanding Money. Did you know that the reason many of us struggle financially, literally for the rest of our lives, is because the foundations were faulty? The beliefs we've had about money, the experiences we had in our childhood concerning money that were never resolved. The fact that the school system never told us anything about money. They just gave us book knowledge, but they never told us anything about how to make money, how to manage it, how to multiply that. People literally live the rest of their lives, up to 70, 80, 90 years of their lives, struggling. Why? Because if the foundation is faulty, everything else you put on top of it will be faulty. There you have it. The major cause of poverty and struggle among us today is that we have faulty financial foundations. And in studying wealthy people in the world, and also having a wealthy mentor myself who turned 84 this year, is going to be 85 next year, I have discovered shockingly that for many of them, their wealth started from a place of a strong financial foundation. Like my own mentor, it was the mother who was a very, very entrepreneurial woman. She was not educated, but she was very entrepreneurial. And she was the one that set him on the path. And I've not forgotten what he told me the day he told me about how his mother taught him to be rich. He said to me, "Ogbo, no one," and he said, repeat, "no one can get rich except another person shows him how." And this is the rationale for what I'm doing for the next 1,000 days, because I asked myself, if I had 1,000 days to live, and then I had to teach the world some valuable lessons, what was it going to be? So I determined that people already know a lot about academics. I'm very academic. I'm very, very intellectual. So I can discuss Greek philosophers, I can discuss Shakespeare, I can discuss all kinds of academic subjects with you. But you already know these things. And also, thanks to AI and Google, there's nothing you cannot look up there. But where people seem to be struggling the most, people from all over the world, is with their finances. The financial struggles are deadly. It's creating problems in marriages, creating problems in families, and then it's making people live the rest of their lives pursuing money rather than fulfilling their purpose. Because the financial struggles, set people on the path of survival. But I want to be in a place where I am not limited by lack of money, but every day I wake up is, how can I give the best of myself, my abilities, my gifts to the world today? How can I serve? Not how can I eat? So many people remain on that how can I eat level till they die. So 3 things I want to do in the next 1,000 days. Today is actually day 47, so we still have about 960 days left, or 953 days, is to help you develop skills and strategies to attain financial independence so that you can face your purpose and not go around the place looking for food, in the rat race. Second thing I'm very passionate about is scaling a business, because I have been very, very blessed, to work with Stanford University, the Stanford seed of the Stanford Graduate School of Business. It was a tremendous experience, for years working with business leaders and with Stanford faculty for many years. So I've learned a thing or two about helping businesses grow. And then, of course, teaching hundreds of business leaders in Lagos Business School and China Europe International Business School has positioned me authoritatively to be able to help you to build business. Because I believe that entrepreneurs will change our countries. Entrepreneurs will change Africa, not politicians. If politicians could do it, they could have done it. And then finally, the third thing is I want to bring back family to the conversation, to the front burner, because families are under attack. You're talking to a group of 100 children. Over half of them are being raised by single parents because the family is separated, divorced, and things like that. So I want to change that, because it was not like that. Our parents lived, they got married and lived for 60-something years, 70-something years. And this generation, we do 3 months and we start clapping for ourselves. Marriages collapse after 1 month, just 1 month. There's one, they told me, it's 3 months old, they just got married 3 months ago. It's collapsing as I'm talking to you. So I want to change that. Okay, does that make sense for anyone else here? Anybody else want to go this length with me? Who else agrees that we need to face these 3 issues? Type in the comment section. Financial independence, entrepreneurship, and family. Those 3 things. So today, we'll be looking at the 10 common mistakes Africans make. Common money mistakes. I think that this is a very perfect way to start these conversations around the financial foundations, because you want to, first of all, understand, the cracks in your financial foundation, where the troubles come from. Once we understand where the troubles come from, then we can start building on that foundation. Because if I start layering more information and knowledge on the mistakes that you're currently making, these mistakes will continue to sabotage you. So it's no use teaching you very, very complicated principles about business and about money when you are making these fundamental mistakes. These things I'm going to talk about, they are fundamental errors, and we make them every day. And so as I talk about them, any one that affects you, that you think you are making right now, type it in the comment section. Let's be vulnerable. Okay? So there are 10 common money mistakes that Africans make. And I believe it is the same thing with my Caribbean audience and also my Pacific audience. Some of you from Guyana, who are watching. Some of you are from Suriname. Some of you are from the Caribbean. It's basically the same thing. And then some of you watching from the US, it's also the same thing. Okay? So the very first money mistake that we make is that we think that money is a product of miracle and favor. I just finished having that exasperating debate, with a religious guy just moments ago before this happened. You see, because many people believe that money can that money comes into their bank account by some kind of miraculous prayer. And many of you have seen videos that fly around all over the place about our people praying for miracle money. And then I saw one where a prophet was prophesying money, prophesying credit alerts into their phones. He told them to raise their phones, and as he raised their phones, he started calling banks. Zenith Bank, I command you to put money into this person. What is the matter with us? What? I mean, God is up there just shaking his head, because that's not what he sent us. So it's a basic mistake, and this thing is is at the foundation of many people's belief that money is something miracle. Money is basically a medium for exchanging value. So what kind of God are you serving that will give you money without value, without you demonstrating some value? And then you remember the parable that Jesus himself told about the talents. He gave 3 of his servants talents, gold, money, to do something with it, to trade with it. While he went away, the king came back. The first one had turned his 5 talents to 10. The second one turned his 3, I think, to 6 or something. Then the third one, who got 1, like us in Africa, what did he do? He hid it on the ground. He did not do anything with it. And he was thoroughly rebuked. So, yes, favor, divine favor is there. Because we actually told, in the Torah, that he said, I give you power to acquire wealth. It's the power to acquire it that God gives you. It's not the wealth itself. What is that power to acquire it? The power to acquire it is to create solutions, to solve people's problems. So you find the people who don't pray like you. Like I mentioned, Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, the founders of Google, Mark Zuckerberg. That is a platform, the guy who has a platform that he came to argue with me. I said, what? So what favor? Was that by miracle that Mark Zuckerberg, he created a platform that is solving a problem for billions of people. There are at least 3 billion people, 3.5 or 4 billion people on Facebook. And you are rewarded to the degree of how many people you are solving that problem for. That's why the guy is a billionaire. And you are sitting in your house praying, asking for favor. This government favor me. This one favor me. That is a stupid money mistake. Okay? And then, because of it, people do too much prayer. And they don't develop income skills. Praying is enough. But when you finish praying, in prayer, you're supposed to hear, to download instructions. To download instructions in your intuition, in your spirit, that you now move out of your house to execute. But you just keep praying. And then checking your phone for miracle money alert. What is wrong with us? That's the number one problem. We have to tackle that. So you see, if you have been following me for some time right now, you will discover that my posts are basically, first of all, tackling these mental viruses that we have. Because if we don't break down these beliefs, you won't be able to start accepting the things that I'm telling you about. Okay? So that is money error number one that you should avoid. Please, money, there's favor. But favor is not an excuse for mental laziness. Prayer is not an excuse for mental laziness. So you've got to get that religious bug out of your mind to start with. Does that make sense? Type in the comment section. Okay? Always interact with me so that I will know that you are following. And then you can also ask your questions. And then thank you, Emmanuel Obona, for sharing. If you haven't shared yet, please go ahead and share this. We need to sanitize our internet space. Go ahead and share, please, and then type in the chat and let me know that you have shared, okay? So that's money mistake number one. Money mistake number two, get rich quick. Get rich quick. In fact, all the times I have lost money in my life, because I'm guilty of this. So if I mention your own, type guilty. Type that, like this is number two. Then just type 2, guilty, if you are guilty of this money mistake, okay? So I want you to flow. I want to know who I'm talking with, okay? And how this resonates with you. So the times I have lost money were the times I was promised mouth-watering returns. All of those times, there were always shiny objects in town, get-rich-quick schemes, and it is a major financial error, financial mistake in Africa, in the poor places, because they actually target poor people because they know that you are so desperate, you want to escape poverty by all means. So they come to you and tell you, look, bring 2 people, who bring 2 people, and bring 2 people, and before you know it, you will ride a Lamborghini and all that. Then you go and borrow money from all your relations and from me and give them because you want to get rich very, very quick. And then there's a lot of gambling right now. Gambling is so common in Ghana. I was surprised that the sport betting thing, which is such a big problem in Nigeria, is also there in Ghana. If it's in your country, it's for those of you joining from Namibia and Zambia and Sierra Leone, also indicate, do you also have this sports betting thing? So people go, they spend their days, their whole day, and some people even borrow money to go and do sports betting. So all these quick money schemes, lotteries, pyramid schemes that promise mouth-watering returns and tell you, oh, there's no risk. Just bring 10,000 and then every day we will give you 20,000. That is a very serious money error, money mistake, very, very common in our climb. Number 3, which is a very big one as well, is financial illiteracy. This, I don't know, sometimes I wonder whether this was by design. How could someone spend 22 years of his life, that is 3 years nursery, and then if you add creche, for some people who start creche at 6 months. So 3 years in nursery, 6 years in primary school, that is 9. So keep adding it with me. 6 years in secondary school, that is 6 plus 9. What is that right now? That's 15. Then 4 years in the university, depending on your program, because it could be up to 6 or 7 years. So 4 years in the university, that's how many years now? That's at least 19 years. And then, of course, some people go straight to do their master's or something, or their PhD. So we spent literally 19 to 24 years between the walls, the classrooms, and nobody, not a mention of financial literacy, not a mention of saving, investing, budgeting, making money, managing money, multiplying it. You come out, you answer graduate. They call you graduate, but you are a total financial illiterate. It happened to me. So I'm guilty about this. Because I came out and I was working, had a great job, with Shell. And then, working at that level, I had no inkling about that there was something called stock market. I had no inkling about real estate or investing. It was just every month I was setting, the money will come. We spend it, wait for another month, and the money will come. How can you fathom this? So there's a lot of financial illiteracy. So people lack basic financial concepts, like budgeting, saving, investing, insurance, debt management, and all those things. And financial illiteracy is killing our people. Because you can never, ever grow beyond your financial awareness level. You cannot grow beyond your financial awareness level. Do you know you're just financially, you're just like one piece of awareness, one piece of information away from a million in your currency, whether it's dollars or CD or whatever. Okay, so this is a major error. Financial illiteracy, all right? And I can see a couple of people are saying guilty, just like I was. I was also very guilty of that. And it was not until 2003. 2003, I was already, wait a minute, like almost getting to 40 before I woke up. That is incredible. And then, in addition to school, I had been going to church. For all those 30-something years, they didn't teach me. They did not teach me. School did not teach me. Church did not teach me. Televisions did not teach me. Until one day I stumbled by Robert Kiyosaki's Rich Dad Poor Dad. And that was where my financial deliverance started. And I have not looked back since then. After that, I read The Richest Man in Babylon. And I have been reading like crazy since that, and financial books. So you've got to read. You've got to read. You've got to get off Netflix. Get off Nollywood movies and consume some financial knowledge. If you can read, go to YouTube. Educate yourself about these things. Okay? Number 4. Big financial mistake that we make in Africa. Number 4. The inability to read financial statements. I had to train myself, and especially after reading Robert Kiyosaki's book, I had to train myself to read financial statements because I was a science student. Accounting and things around accounting and whatever, I felt it was just too burdensome. I didn't like those numbers. I didn't like the numbers. But you see, where that is very strange is that money is numbers game. Money is all about numbers. Okay, of course there's some behavioral. So let me say it's numbers, it's also behavioral. But it's numbers. So if you don't know your numbers, somebody looked at his statement, just sat down one day and an accountant helped him through the statement, and he was shocked how much the banks had charged him, running into millions. But you see, he wasn't checking. I don't remember how he eventually resolved that thing, whether they paid him back some of the money. They were just extracting. So because how many of us actually, when the bank sends us our financial statements at the end of every month, actually look at it?